For your information, I'm going to start most of my intros like that. Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Duck123, and today I'm going to be making a Legends ranking tier list for you guys. Now there's been a lot of content and lore added into the game as of Season 5 and the Lost Treasures event, and a bunch of fixes and changes to different legends, and now I feel like is the good time to make a list about it. Now I did want to make one of these in the past, but there's a bunch of There's a bunch of changes coming out, and I didn't want to really have to make another one right away. So I'm just gonna make this one for you guys. I don't know anything that's coming as of soon, so let's just get straight into this. Now, I do want to point out that 65.8% of you guys who watch the channel are not subscribed, so I want to say, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the videos if you like them, and yeah, let's hop straight into it. Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Duck123. Welcome back to another Apex Legends video, and today I am going to be making an Apex Legends tier ranking list, and yeah, let's get straight into this. Now, I'm going to start from bottom to the top of the order, so I am going to go with the weakest character in the game as of right now, which is Crypto. So Crypto is an okay legend. He needs a buff, in my opinion. His drone isn't that good. They did give a teeny little bit of a buff to his drone deployment. It deploys quicker. So yeah, his passive is actually really bad. So if you have your drone out like this and you exit your drone, it'll scan enemies, which I think should just actually be a given for his drone, but that's his passive. But his ultimate ability is an EMP, which can disable Watson's pylons, and I'm pretty sure it disables gas traps too, I'm not sure though. And it will just do like 52 damage to your shields, I'm pretty sure. So he's not that bad of a legend, but he is at the bottom of the ranking list. Next in order is Octane. Now they did give him a pretty good rework, right? But I feel like he's still a D tier character because he's still not that kind of team-oriented player, which is always fine because not every operator is supposed to be the same. But I feel like he does. I think he's fine where he's at, not being a team kind of coordinated operator, but I do think he is at the bottom of the list for the least helpful and just that good in general. Now they did buff his stim, so that means you can use it for longer and you go 10% faster, I think. His ult was changed not too long ago, about 60 seconds deploy time. You get a double jump now. And his passive ability is you regen health over time. So I think this legend does belong in D tier. Not that bad of a legend, but let's move on. Next up, we have Bloodhound on the list. Now, he is going to be a C tier legend, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, Bloodhound is a really solid operator. He has been just buffed so many times, and I don't know why, but I think he's fine where he's at. He has a scan that lasts from 3 seconds to 4 seconds recently. You get a recharge time of, I think, 20 seconds? Yeah, 20 seconds. And you can have your ultimate ability, which turns you into a thermal beast, which you go, I think, as fast as Octane for like 35 seconds, and each kill you get, it increases 5 seconds onto your kind of time span on there, I guess. Now, his passive ability is that he can see tracks on the floor from up to 90 seconds ago, such as bandaged wounds, if they used a syringe, or if they used shields, or if they were sliding, jumping on a zipline. You name it, Bloodhound can basically track it down. Bloodhound is pretty helpful for his team, but I just don't think he's in that good of a spot right now. But that is where Bloodhound comes into play. Next up, we have Mirage in C tier. Now, Mirage has been turned into a pretty decent legend over the past couple of weeks here, and he has gotten a pretty fine rework to show that. So, Mirage has his ultimate ability, which they kind of took off of the Dummies Big Day event, if you guys remember that back in Season 3, where you pop your ult, and you have a bunch of decoys that mimic your movements, and stuff like that. Now, your tactical is just a singular decoy, which you can either have run in place, or stand there, or you can release and control the decoy to do whatever you want to do. And it's actually pretty cool. You used to be able to like make your decoy fly, and it was pretty fun. Now Mirage has a pretty okay passive. He goes invisible while reviving his squad mates, and goes invisible while respawning his squad mates. So they did give him a pretty good buff and rework, so that is why he is in C tier. Next up, also in C tier, we have Revenant. Now, Revenant has been changed quite a bit over the past, from Season 4 till now. He has gotten some significant buffs, as if he can no longer have a radius on his ultimate anymore, which means you can place it down, and you can go wherever the hell you want. There's still a time limit on it, but that makes it so if you're at 100 HP, you will go into the totem. If you die, you respawn at where the totem was placed with 50 HP. Now, if you had anything below 100 HP, you will still be respawned at 50 HP. So if you're at anything below 50 HP though, that's what you will respawn at. So his tactical ability is actually very strong and can hard counter a lot of legends such as Gibraltar, Caustic. You get the kind of memo there. Now his tactical is he has like an orb that he throws which silences enemies for a total of 20 seconds and stays there for about 10 seconds. And he has 2 of these, kind of like Bangalore. So he is a pretty strong legend. Also because he can go up walls and crawl very, very quickly. He can actually crawl faster than than other legends can walk. So he can also climb faster and higher at different heights. So he is a pretty strong legend right now. But I still believe that he is in a C tier spot. Now next up in C tier we have Loba. Sorry, I'll get back to the video. Now, Loba is a pretty solid legend right now. She doesn't have too much to offer. She has her passive, which lets you see epic and legendary items through walls from up to like 50 meters away, I think. So that's pretty good. But I feel like they should make it so that you can see blue items or maybe even like different, like maybe Evo shields. But that's just me. You do have your tactical ability, which you can throw up to 80 meters, I believe. You can throw it up to 80 meters, but 72 is basically the average for it. You can throw this bracelet, and it will teleport you to wherever you throw it to. And this can get you in such spots that are unusable for any legends, maybe except for Pathfinder or Octane. But you can get into some pretty cool spots with Loba. Also, she is very, very good at stealing loot, hence her backstory and her ultimate ability, which allows you to place down your black market boutique and steal 2 items out of it that are in the radius of, I think, 100 meters. So that is pretty good. Not to mention the secret passive ability that she has, which you're actually allowed to steal from the loot vaults on World's Edge. So that is actually pretty sick. But, moving on. Now moving on to Wattson in B tier. Now Wattson is an operator that you will see a lot of in ranked play and professional players and competitions and tournaments and all that. She is a very good legend for that, and she pairs really well with Caustic, which I will talk about in a minute. She is a defensive character, so she has the tactical of fences that she can place down that you can kind of surround an area with, maybe cut off a door, and this will make it so if any enemy walks by here, they will get tased. It won't disappear if an enemy steps in it, but if your team does that, it'll disappear. Now, she is very strong in endgame, mostly, because she also has her ultimate ability, which they did recently change. You can now have 3 ultimates out at once, I think, and you can, they last 90 seconds each now. But the exception of that is that she is now allowed to carry 2 ultimate accelerants in 1 stack. So if you guys look in my inventory here, there are 2 ultimate accelerants in 1 spot right there. So that's what also makes her very strong with her electrifying abilities. Now, she does have a pretty weak passive, which is the ultimate accelerants. Now, when you use these ultimate accelerants as her passive, you will get the instant recharge of her ultimate ability. You can place this down and it recharges shields, and it will stop incoming enemy lethals and your team's lethals. So just be aware of that when your team maybe has a Revenant or people who want to throw grenades. The pylon will stop your own team's grenades, so just be aware of that. And that is why I am ranking Wattson at a B tier. So much like Wattson, Caustic is a defending legend who is very, very good in endgame, and you will see lots of in tournaments and ranked play. Now, there is a reason, because you can block off doors, once again, like Wattson can. With his Caustic traps, you can deploy 6 at once, and you can have your ultimate ability, which is your gas grenade, which you throw down, and it's there for about 30 seconds, I think. It's a huge gas cloud. And his passive ability is that he is able to see through smoke, which is called Nox Vision. He can see through his own caustic gas, and he is immune to other players' caustic gas. And yeah, Caustic is a very, very strong legend, and I think that he deserves to be in B tier for now. Now, next up, we have Bangalore. Now, Bangalore is a professional soldier, and she is all about the heavy artillery. Now, Bangalore has some pretty cool things to offer in her kit. She has 2 smoke grenades, which you can pull out your launcher, and you can shoot these things up to like 200 meters away, which is absolutely crazy. So, this is really good for getting out of situations, maybe smoking your teammates out, or smoking enemies out so they can't see you, or if you have a digital threat, as I'm about to show you, you can actually look through your own smoke here. You can see it's actually pretty strong with her kit, and you can shoot enemies through the smoke. Very strong, but she also has an even stronger ability, which is her ultimate, which is also kind of like a repositioning kind of ultimate rather than an actual airstrike, much like Gibraltar's. Now, Bangalore's airstrike is strong because it disorients you. You won't be able to move for like 10 seconds, and it does like 40 damage. So if you're not careful, Bangalore's ult can hurt, but it's more of a repositioning tool. If you're trying to get out of a sticky situation, this is where her ult comes to play in. You can also just place this down and get to another position from point A to point B. Very good legend. Her passive ability is double time, which has always been really strong. They did have to nerf it back in season 1 or 2, I think. This is, you get like a 30% faster run speed while you getting shot at, or if someone shoots at you or near you, you get a speed boost for like 2 seconds, and you can run quicker or walk quicker, whatever you want. And this is what makes Bangalore a B tier character. Now, next up in the B tier, and the last one in B tier, is Lifeline. Now, Lifeline has gotten many changes, and she has been known for her great team compatibility. She has her heal drone, which you can have out for, I think, 20 seconds, and it will heal your teammates that are nearby, stick an umbilical cord in you, I don't know what the hell, and it will heal your teammates and enemies, so you gotta watch out for that. Now, they did make her cooldown from her tactical go down from 15 seconds, so that's pretty good. Her ultimate ability, I think, is the slowest charging in the game, but it is very helpful now. You have a care package which you can drop in, and it will have loot for your teammates. It went from just having 1 item in it, like small shields and small healing things, and now it has 3 kinds of them now, so you can get like 6 shield cells in one of the slots of the care package. So I think that is very strong. Also, you get 2 attachments now if you get an attachment in it, and you still get your knockdown shields and body shields and stuff like that, which is also pretty helpful. Now, she actually has multiple passive abilities. She has the blue chest that you see around, which will have a second compartment that she can open up and will have meds in it and extra loot. She also has the combat revive, which is her drone deploys a shield in front of her, and they can basically auto revive at not a quicker speed anymore, but you can now auto revive your teammates, and you can get into the battle, protect them while they're reviving. She used to have the passive ability of fast healing, but there is no longer such thing. And that is why Lifeline is at a B tier place right now. Now, I am not going to be making an S tier for this list, but I am going to be making an A tier. Now, I was going to rank Pathfinder at a higher A tier, but I realized how much they have anal fucked him in the past couple weeks here. So, at the start of Season 5, he got a grapple nerf from a huge 20 seconds of a nerf to his grapple, so now he has to wait 35 seconds for his grapple to recharge. Also, they made an indirect buff to him where now his zip lines are no longer able to be jump up and down on him more than like 4 times. So if you're trying to get out of a sticky situation, you deploy this shit, and if you're getting shot at, usually you jump up and down on it. You go a little bit slower, but it would definitely get the job done. And now you can't even do that anymore without getting dropped to the floor, and then it's just a bad situation, and then you and then you die, and then you want to die, and then your team dies, and then you lose the game. Yeah, no, sorry. Pathfinder is still a very strong legend, don't get me wrong. His ziplines can get you from point A to point B. His grapple is very helpful for himself. He can get into certain spots other legends can't, and he can move way quicker. His passive ability is the survey beacons, which you can scan, stick your little Pathfinder key in there, whatever the hell that's supposed to be, and you can then reveal the next ring spot on the map. Now you can do this as many times as you'd like, as long as there's a survey beacon in the area and as long as the next round has closed in. So Pathfinder is at the bottom of A tier, but still a very strong legend despite the buffs that he has received in the past few weeks. Some people may be surprised at the second ranking of A tier with Wraith, but I feel like she deserves to be below the next legend, and I think we all know who that is, but I'm going to talk about Wraith for a bit. Wraith has had many problems. People think she's too overpowered. She has a tiny hitbox, so she's small to hit. Her most recent skin that she had in the Lost Treasures event was hitbox glitched, so every time you shoot her in the arms, I think it's like a small rectangular shape. That was her hitbox around her chest area, so about 70% of the time when you hit Wraith, it would count as a no-rig, and you would basically lose every single gunfight you'd get into. But it is fixed now. They have finally fixed it. Thank fucking God. I think Wraith is still a very strong legend. They made her phase tunnel a lot more strong, in my opinion. You can run 30% faster while you're in your phase tunnel, and you do like an animation, like a salute animation before you do it, which is longer to deploy. And her phase tunnel was nerfed a little bit with the 25-meter radius drop, so now you can only do it like 75 meters, I think, which is still pretty strong to get you out of those situations, especially in endgame, but they did do that for a nerf for her. Now, I'm not going to talk about all the things that she's went through, but I am going to talk about those two main things. Now, her passive ability is the Voices from the Void, which allows her to know if enemies are watching her. If you ping a Wraith or look at a Wraith, she will know if there's snipers in the area or if there's just someone aiming at her. If you're in an open area, maybe looting or something, you'll let your team know that there might be enemies in the area, etc. You know, she's a pretty helpful character when it comes to her ult and her passive, and I think that that's why she is in A tier. I think we all knew that Gibraltar was going to be in #1 here, but I have to explain why. Now, his dome shield is very effective. It did get a nerf from the amount of time that it's out to the amount of time it takes to actually recharge it back. Now, it doesn't stay out for as long anymore, and it did get a buff with the dome healing. Can't heal like 25% faster anymore. I think it's 15% faster now. So that is a pretty significant nerf to him, but I still think he's very strong with his dome. When you place out your dome, you got this bubble that comes around you right here, and you're basically protected by all incoming artillery effects, and you are just basically invincible. His passive ability is what pisses people off the most, which is his arm shield. Now, this is a shield that goes in front of you, which is like basically 50 HP. It can absorb a whole Kraber shot if it wants to. I think it's kind of bullshit how it has 50 HP on it, but it can absorb a whole damn Kraber shot without Gibraltar taking a single hit of HP. So that's what I think they need to fix about that. They have been buffing him a lot in the past, and now I think it's good that he's gotten some nerfs, but he is still the strongest legend in the game because of his most helpful team abilities and for himself. And that is my Legends tier ranking list, guys. Now, this is of course my opinion, so if you're one of those people who go into the comment section and say, oh, your opinion is wrong, I think this legend goes there, I don't care. Now, if you guys did not agree with the list, that's fine. Make your own list in the comments. I would like to see what you guys think, and maybe what you guys think what legends should be in A tier, B tier, maybe if you could change it up a bit, and let me know in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a like. I would really appreciate that. I'm trying to make more videos now and with more quality in them, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.